Why are you being overlooked and ignored while Rachel is getting praised, Chad's getting promoted, and Avery is getting the dream client assignments? It's because they know the 5 harsh truths to succeed at work that will save you from failure. If you are ready to learn these truth bombs for yourself, tap that like button and let's jump straight in. The first harsh truth to be more successful at work is to know what success means to you. Honestly, most people operate using the default setting. Climb the corporate ladder, make lots of money, buy a big house, flashy car, or expensive handbag to prove how successful you are. But do you really want those things? As someone who's climbed the corporate ladder, I can tell you it's hard. If you don't want it, and if you're chasing the house, the car, or the carrots that don't really motivate you, you'll lose steam. And to back it up, you don't have to climb the corporate ladder. That doesn't have to be what success is for you. Maybe you want to have a stable job that you love, or you dream of creating a business of your own. It's okay to want whatever you want. And that does include a fancy job title. What's important here is that you're honest with yourself about what you really want from your career. Once you identify what you actually want, figure out why you're motivated to get it. Answer this question for yourself. Why does career success matter to me? It could be money, security, proving your mother wrong, getting to solve more complex challenges, or social change. Again, there's no right or wrong answers here. Don't start judging yourself if you say money. But when you know what you want and why you want it, you have the framework you need to go and get it. And that brings me to the second harsh truth to be more successful at work, and that is to make relationships a priority. I've said this before, and my career bestie, I can promise you I will say it again. Success is not solitary. Of the hundreds of extraordinarily successful professionals that I have spoken with, exactly 0 of them got there alone. In fact, the relationships that you build can have more impact than the actual work that you do. I know that point is frustrating for a lot of people that hang out around here, but it doesn't stop it from being true. And that's where people find themselves working 60 or 80 hours a week doing things that nobody knows about and having an invisible impact that's not going to help them succeed. On the flip side, we know slacker Chad. He doesn't do any of the work, but he either snatches credit for the work that you're doing, which is not cool and a totally other video, or he puts in the effort when it's going to impress his boss's boss's boss or get him on his boss's 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 radar. No matter what the reality is, those people don't think that slacker Chad is a slacker. He's managing the impressions that he makes, and he has built a professional reputation and a personal brand as someone who deserves to get ahead. I know it can feel frivolous spending time cultivating relationships when you've got shit to do. But remember, in your work, when you have an obstacle, you need help, or you need resources, the relationships you create can be the things that get you what you need. And one more thing we need to talk about on this point, because I see it come up in the comment section pretty frequently.
That's brown nosing. It's so gross.
If it's inauthentic, I totally agree with you. But this should not be inauthentic. It should be completely aligned with who you are and your values. As I've gotten to know a lot of you, there's one thing that I've really seen in common. The Career Bestie community is full of people that are kind, empathetic, curious, and eager to support others, both in the comments and in real life. This is simply bringing that energy into cultivating connections with people at work who make and influence decisions. Because being on their radar ultimately gets your work on their radar. You'll probably find yourself getting more opportunities, and you're likely to find faster career advancement than if you just kept your head down working. If nothing else, you might find that mentors and maybe eventually friendships emerge. And this brings us to our third harsh truth to be more successful at work. And this one is one of the key ones. And if you were only to do one of them, I would say it needs to be this one. Conviction matters more than competence. Be honest, I want to know who you would listen to.
I think this might be a good idea. We can try it and see if it works.
Or the only viable solution I see is, let me know in the comments who you would be more likely to listen to. When it comes to having your ideas heard, concerns addressed, or promotion granted, the reality is confidence is contagious. It doesn't matter if you are the best, most qualified person on your team if you don't believe that you are, and if you don't share your thoughts with conviction. Of course, there is a downside. In a recent video, I talked about the Dunning-Kruger effect and how folks that don't really know anything have a ton of confidence. This is one of the reasons why the higher ups are really going to like Nick's idea, even if everyone at his level knows it's the worst idea that has ever been said. He shared his opinion with confidence and conviction. Rachel's idea might have been much better. In fact, her idea might have been the actual only viable solution. But maybe she was in that imposter syndrome zone. And because she's doubting her own expertise, she expressed her idea without conviction. And because she doubted herself, others doubt her. This is one of the reasons why I think knowing and owning your UAQ is so important. Having self-awareness in what you know and what you're great at is going to help you approach these situations with the confidence and conviction that you really need to be heard and to be fully recognized for what you're bringing to the table. Also, while we all get annoyed with the unqualified, high conviction people being heard, I truly believe that the antidote is to have intelligent and talented people like you bring that confident energy to whatever you say so that you are heard, your ideas are implemented, and you get the praise and opportunities you deserve. Now, drawing from that, we need to get into the fourth hard truth to be more successful at work, and that is you need to make an unignorable impact. How many hours a day do you spend at work, triple tasking in meetings? And how many emails and Slack messages have you responded to in the middle of the night without anyone seeming to notice, let alone be appreciative of the work that you do? My friend, you are great at getting things done, but the problem is they're not always the things that matter, and you're burning yourself out in the process. There is a lot of invisible impact that you can make at work. I have a whole video on how working hard won't actually get you ahead. Again, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying don't work hard. But what I want you to do instead of working hard, doing all of the things, is to channel your effort to make a strategic impact that is unignorable. Align your focus with your UAQ, since that's your highest potential growth path, but also with the priorities of your boss and their boss. Moving the needle on the things that matter most to them is not only going to get you on their radar, it can help you achieve your career goals no matter what they are. And this brings us now to our fifth hard truth that we really need to talk about. You might not like it, but it's one you need to hear. The fifth harsh truth to be successful at work is you have to play the game, but you can do it your way. I hear it every day.
I don't do politics.
But if you don't do office politics, what you're really saying is you don't play. And if you don't play, you lose by default. This is game theory, my friends. Anytime we have two players, we have ourselves a game. Do a lot of people play dirty? Well, when we look around, we see Patty gossiping about the personal lives of everyone at the company, Nick lurking over your shoulder just waiting to rat you out as soon as you make a mistake, and Avery who would sell their mother's soul in order to get that promotion. So yeah, a lot of people are playing the game in a way the vast majority of people despise. There's a saying, when you get in the mud with the pig, you get dirty and the pig gets happy. And we don't want to be rolling in the mud, especially with the pigs. And that's why you need to know how to play office politics in a way that's aligned to who you are and your value. It doesn't need to be a gross thing that we hate. When you do this, you're not just playing the game. You're starting to change it. For example, you know I say this endlessly. Lead with empathy. So when you hear Patty playing dirty politics and trashing a coworker, it's easy to be annoyed, it's easy to be judged, and it's easy to want to get back at Patty, especially if it's about you. And it's so easy to go and talk behind her back, perpetuating the cycle and the fresh drama she craves. The llama's super hungry. But if you can back up and see Patty for who she is, someone who maybe doesn't like herself, who has a miserable life, so much so that the only way for her to feel slightly less miserable about her own life is to pretend everyone is as miserable as her by gossiping about them, because she is so powerless in her own life. How can you not feel bad for her? At the end of the day, office politics comes down to navigating humans. I wish it was easy, but we're a complex species. That said, there are a few simple rules that you can learn to play office politics authentically and effectively. And win. If you want to know how, go and watch this video right now. But before you go, if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, tap that like button. Really helps my channel, makes you my favorite career bestie in a win situation. While you're down there, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.